Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get started with our grammar lesson. All right, so far we have talked about sentences, and we know we went over all of those things that sentences need, and we've talked about how sentences need subjects and predicates to make sense, and we've practiced finding the subjects and the predicates. So we're ready to talk about writing better sentences. Now that we know how to write a correct sentence, we're going to talk about making them a little bit better. For example, let's look at this sentence here. I wrote a sentence with one of our vocabulary words, peered. Remember, that means to look closely. And I just wrote the boy peered, just like you could do on your 4 blocks where you have to write a sentence for each word. I wrote the boy peered. And that is a perfectly good sentence. It has a capital, it has an end mark at the end, and it has a subject, the boy, and it has a predicate. The boy peered. That's what he did. So it's perfect. It's fine. The problem is that it's kind of boring and it doesn't tell a whole lot about that boy. So we can make it more interesting, or we can make it sound just a little bit better if we possibly added something to either the subject, or we can add a little bit more to the predicate and just tell a little bit more. For example, instead of just saying the boy peered, I could say the small boy peered. And that tells me a little bit more about this boy. So it's not such a boring sentence, it tells me a little bit more now. The small boy peered. Or I could add something, that's when I added it to the subject on this one. I added and told you more about the boy because he was our subject. On this one I'm going to add a little bit more to the predicate. And just say the boy peered at the tiny bug. Yeah, I added and told you more about what he was looking at. And that tells me a little bit more and makes it a better sentence. Just if you tell a little bit more. Let's practice with this one. The girl is afraid. Again, I wrote a sentence with our vocabulary word. Our vocabulary word was afraid. And I wrote a perfectly good sentence. Has a capital. It has an end mark, and it has a subject, which is the girl. That's whose is about. And then what about the girl? She is afraid. So that's my predicate. But if I wanted to write a little bit of a better sentence and tell a little bit more, I could add something to the subject to tell more. The curly-haired girl is afraid. That kind of lets me know which girl it is. That way people know more and they're not as confused. You know, just saying the girl is afraid, that could be any girl. But the curly-haired girl, oh, now I know which girl it is that's afraid. It just tells me more and makes my sentence a little bit better. I could also add more to the predicate of that sentence. I could add and tell more about what maybe she's afraid of. The girl is afraid of big spiders. That just tells me a little bit more about this sentence, and it makes it just a little bit of a better sentence. Oh, and that's the end of that one. We're going to practice that skill today. I've given you some sentences on your work today, and you are going to have to tell me either more about the subject or more about the predicate. And you can make up and put whatever you want on those and make them be whatever you want them to say. You can add whatever you want to the subject or whatever you want to the predicate to make them better sentences. So do you think you can do that? Oh, I bet you can. I cannot wait to see your sentences. And when you're writing sentences in the future, let's try to add just a little bit more to them to make them a little bit more interesting and make them better sentences. All right. Good luck on your work today. Remember, I'm around if you need me. You can always send me a message or send me a call, and I will help you if you're not sure how to do this assignment if you're having trouble with it. All right. Bye, guys.